My favorite. Okay, this has been on to cook all day. This is my very, very special mammal Purcell. This is my ex-husband's grandmother. This was her recipe for apple butter, and I just improved it. I put in some ground clove and some cinnamon, and I'm getting ready to add a few drops of cinnamon oil here. And if you know how dark and rich my apple butter is, isn't that delicious? And it's just been baking in the oven all day. Oh my Lord. It is so thick and wonderful. And we're getting ready to can it up. We've got the jars steaming here. I already sterilized the jars in the, I'm going to turn that down. I've already sterilized the jars in the dishwasher. Looks like our jars are ready. They're nice and hot. And we just need to draw those out. And we're just going to add our cinnamon oil to this. We're just going to add the cinnamon to our apple butter. Oh my goodness, that's going to be so yummy. And we're just going to blend that in. Look how nice and rich that is. Oh my Lord, my Lord. There we go. And remember, you want to taste this. You don't ever want to let this cool off. Oh, that smells good. Oil of cinnamon. Yes, I have powdered cinnamon in here as well. I've got about a tablespoon of powdered cinnamon in here. And I got about 2 teaspoons of clove, because that's all I had. You can put in more. And I don't put lemon juice in my apple butter. I don't like that flavor. Some people put lemon juice in their pumpkin butter and in their apple butter. I don't. I think I do in my pumpkin butter a little bit, but not that much. But no. And it gets a quart of sugar. And it's about 1.5 gallons of applesauce by the time you're done crushing your apples. Or you can just buy the applesauce straight out. I just make it out of my big old roasting pan here. And I'm not sure how many pints this is going to make at this point in juncture. It looks like road tire right now, doesn't it? You ever been down a Tarvey road? There you go. There you go. Now this is naturally baked to this color, okay? And this is actually, if you've ever been to the Nashville House and had the Nashville House biscuits down in Brown County, Indiana, down in Little Nashville. Well, we've got 40 acres outside of Nashville. And this, we used to go down there to the Nashville House, and we knew the restaurant owners. And back before they used to give the recipe away, they gave me this recipe for their biscuits and for their apple butter. And it turned out it was the same recipe that I was using of my ex-husband's grandmother, Opal Purcell. She died at like 76 or 78 or something like that, maybe 82, I don't know. She was up there. I'll have to look that up. So once we blend that in really well, we don't want this to cool off too much. You've got to have a hot jar, have a hot sterilized top too. Don't forget to sterilize this part. It's very important. Now look at this. I'm going to hang that right over the side like that right there. Oh, yummy. Look at that. Oh, this smells good. Oh my Lord. Oh, that's good. Okay, let's get another jar. It's nice and drained. Set it up right. Move that aside. Ooh, it's all nice and hot. Everything in the kitchen is sterile. I'm going to put all my utensils into the water bath when I'm sterilizing my jars. And like I said, I did sterilize in the dishwasher first. Oh man, that is good stuff right there. It's hot. Ah, it's hot, hot, hot. Woo, that's hot. But you want the jars hot, remember. Anytime you have any kind of sugar that's been boiling this long, oh yeah, it's got to be hot. Or else it'll break the glass. So remember, hot sauce, or hot anything, hot jars. And then throw your little thing right here in the water too, and make sure that this is sterilized, and make sure that all of your components are sterilized. Let's see, a little more here. That's going to do it. Let's get into the jar. And remember to always get more jars than what you actually need. There we go. Oh, that's hot. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh. That's hot for even me. And let me tell you something. I can handle hot things. I'm used to it. Oh my goodness, this is delicious. I think this is some of the best apple butter I've made in a long time. This has a what my grandma used to say, this got some good dew on it. Okay, and we're just going to continue to do this. Until we get all these jars filled. A clean piece of heavy-duty paper towel. Usually I have even heavier-duty paper towel than this. This made 5.5 pints. And it's going to come through here. And you want to clean this really well. So you got a nice seal on this. And I just clean a little bit of that inside edge. Each jar, give your little rag here a turn. You can even go over this 2 or 3 times. Trust me. You'll still be getting stuff out of here. I've been canning for 30 years. I guess it'd be 30 years this year since I've started my canning. I started at about 17 years old. And once I started, it was like sewing. I just never stopped. I started sewing when I was probably about maybe 10 or 11. And I made my own prom dresses. Made my own senior dinner party dress. And that's just the way it was when I grew up. My mother's family was Amish. And she didn't teach me how to do any of this stuff right here too much. She was pretty busy raising twins and 4 kids, and she had a sick husband. My dad was very sick. He had one of the first and only lungs removed when he was 21, and my mom was pregnant with twins. So she had it very hard, very difficult. They didn't have a car. Let me get this one a little bit better. This is kind of drying up on me here. I need to get it in the canner. Okay, so now we're going to go over it one more time, making sure. There we go. Okay. The reason why I'm doing this also is because I need to check for any cracks or any breaks or chips that are inside these little jars. So now what we're going to do is, this only made a half of a jar, but look how nice and dark that is. You see that? Look how thick that is already, and it hasn't even completely set up yet. This is a good recipe. I'm very happy with it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these skewers, just a bamboo skewer. I don't really need to do it to that one, but look how thick that is. Can you see that? My lordy. So before this thickens up too much, I need to get this in the canner. So I'm just going to kind of do this. And remember, I don't want to get anything on this edges. I already got them all wiped off. And I'm going to try to get all the air bubbles out that I can. Just kind of swirl it around in there a little bit. Go around those edges there, just like that. There we go. Get those out of there. Okay, we didn't get anything on the tops. And I'll be right back. Now what we're going to do here, I don't know if you can see this or not, but what we've done here is we've just sat these in hot water, okay? Shake off the extra water. And then we're just going to top that on our can, just like that right there. And we just want to that's tight enough seal. Now this one right here is just going to get set aside because we're going to eat that. That's not enough for me to can that up. Okay, we're going to do this again. adding these on. Come on, let go. It's a lot easier to put on like this. Somehow, I put them in here upside down. Those are stuck together. There we go. Okay. This actually works when it is a little wet. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a little bit of this water and run it along the edge like that. Just a little bit. It likes just a little bit of misting on the edge. This helps ensures a nice seal. Okay, and when we put the rings on, it's so hot. Now when we put these rings on, okay, this right here is how tight we're going to do it. That's it. Just when it gives. That's all we need to do. I'll show you that again. Ready? That's it. That's it. Right there. Ooh, that's good and hot. Right there. Ooh, that's hot. Okay. Okay, there it is. Look at the color on that. Isn't that great? We're just going to sit that right inside on our rack. Jars have all been inspected. And we want enough water to fill this up. Enough water to fill up about 1 inch over the top. And we're just going to keep adding our jars until we get them all in here. Good. I'm going to crank up the heat on this. Dual heat. We want this to start simmering. It'll take about 5-10 minutes to bring this back up to temperature. Now I've got too much water in here, so I'm going to start dipping some of that out. So you can see we have too much water in here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fill up a pan. That's about 1 inch over. Okay, now you can see this is just in a 16 quart stock pot. It actually goes up to 14 quarts here, but it's 16 quarts to the top. We're going to put on our lid. Our lid has a steam vent here, and that's fine. And we're going to crank the heat up here to medium-high. And we're just going to keep an eye on this until it starts to simmering. And when it starts simmering really hard, you know, in a boil really hard, that's when we're going to start timing our process. And we'll be back then. We're going to check in on here. That's boiling a little bit too hard. I'm going to reduce the heat just a little bit. And we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on our time. Turn off the stove. And we'll let this come down for just a minute until it quits bubbling. And we're on a glass top, smooth top stove, so that'll take about 2 or 3 minutes. And we'll be right back. Okay, it's calmed down here just a little bit. Well, maybe not completely, but enough. And we're just going to remove these, giving them a little tilt to get the water off. And we're just going to bring this right over here and sit this out of the way of any kind of a draft. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. Tilt off the extra water. And then bring it right over here with plenty of space between them to let them cool down. Tilt. And there we go. And again. Tilt. And drop. And we have one more. There we go. And there you have it. My 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 pints of apple butter. Now tell me, if that's not the darkest, richest apple butter that you have ever seen. And it tastes so good. Now that one's going to be for eating right away. Now within the next few hours, when this right here is done, you'll start hearing the little tings. Now you want to count those tings if you can, but these right here shouldn't be up anymore. Now don't force them down and don't touch them, okay? And I can't wait to make me some homemade biscuits and get me some of that right there, okay? This is Chef Janie Pendleton on how to make my delicious dark apple butter. Give it a try. And I'm sure you're going to be glad you did. Enjoy.